G'day, mates. Buckle up for a bloody ripper of a ride through the most bizarre creatures our sunburnt country has to offer. I'm going to show you 10 animals so flippin' weird, you'll think I'm telling tall tales, but fair dinkum, these beauties are as real as they come. First up, we've got the platypus, the ultimate Aussie oddball. When European scientists first saw a stuffed one, they thought some larrikin was having a laugh and had sewn different animals together. This little fella's got a duck bill, beaver tail, and lays eggs despite being a mammal. The blokes even pack venomous spurs on their back legs. Struth, talk about identity crisis. When I first saw a platypus in the wild near Healesville, I nearly fell into the creek. These little weirdos spend about 12 hours a day sleeping, and when active, they're absolute champions underwater. They close their eyes, ears, and nostrils completely when diving and rely entirely on their bill's electroreceptors to find tucker. It's like hunting with a superpower. And get this, scientists reckon their biofluorescent fur actually glows blue-green under UV light. Imagine that, a duck-billed, egg-laying venomous mammal that glows in the dark. Next on our list is the Tassie Devil. These little ankle biters might look cute, but don't be fooled. They've got the strongest bite of any mammal their size. When they're having a blue over tucker, they make this bone-chilling scream that'll make your hair stand on end. The poor Tassie Devil has been doing it tough with that facial tumour disease, wiping out huge numbers since the mid-90s. But these little battlers are fighters. Conservation efforts in Tasmania are giving them a fair go, and their numbers are slowly bouncing back in protected areas. Third is the wombat, the bulldozer of the bush. These solid units can dig like nobody's business and have reinforced backsides they use to block predators or even crush them against tunnel walls if they're feeling aggro. But here's the real dinky fact. They poo cubes, not squares or rectangles, but perfect little cubes that don't roll away. Talk about clever dunny design. I once made the mistake of trying to move a wombat that was blocking a bush track near the Grampians. Big mistake. These solid units have a secret weapon. Their backside is mostly cartilage, making it nearly impossible to injure. The square poos aren't just a novelty, they're strategic. The shape stops them from rolling away when marking territory across the scrublands of Victoria and New South Wales. Talk about evolutionary engineering. The echidna comes in at number 4, another egg-laying mammal that's covered in spikes like a walking pincushion. These quiet achievers have been around since dinosaur times and have tongues that can extend 18 centimetres to slurp up ants. These walking pincushions are proper survivors. They've been found from the scorching Pilbara to the chilly Tasmanian highlands. Baby echidnas are called puggles, and they hatch from eggs smaller than a 20-cent coin. And since mum doesn't have nipples, the little tackers lap up milk that seeps from special patches in her pouch. Oh, and the blokes have a 4-headed, you know what, which is just showing off if you ask me. Nature's full of surprises, eh? Number 5 is the cassowary, the closest thing we've got to a living dinosaur. These big birds stand nearly 2 meters tall with a bony helmet called a casque on their noggin. They've got dagger-like claws that can disembowel a person with one kick. If you ever find yourself face to face with one in the Daintree, remember this: back away slowly and don't turn your back. Despite being so dangerous, they're actually crucial for Queensland's rainforest ecosystems because they're one of the few animals that can swallow large fruits whole and spread the seeds far and wide. Their numbers are dropping due to habitat loss, so give these big beauties the space they deserve. Beautiful but deadly, that's the Australian way. 6th on our countdown is the ricali, our native water rat. Unlike the mangy rats you might find in the city, these bonza swimmers have waterproof fur, webbed feet, and white-tipped tails. They're smart little tucker hunters that even collect shiny objects like bottle tops. The ricali deserves way more attention than it gets. This native water rat is like our version of an otter, with waterproof fur and webbed feet for swimming. Next time you're near a creek or river at dusk from Kakadu to the Murray-Darling, keep your eyes peeled for these swimming champions. With urban development threatening their wetland homes, these clever little blighters need our support to keep their populations healthy. Lucky number 7 is our iconic kangaroo. Everyone knows these hoppy fellas, but did you know they can't move their legs independently when on land? It's all or nothing with these blokes. And the Sheilas have 3 vaginas, 1 for birthing and 2 for the sperm to travel up. Talk about complex plumbing. There's nothing more Australian than seeing a mob of roos bouncing across the landscape at sunset. A big red male can jump 9 metres in a single bound and reach speeds of 70 km/h. I once tried to outrun one as a kid in the outback. Let's just say it didn't end well for my ego. From the massive red kangaroos of Central Australia to the smaller wallabies of our coastal regions, these hoppy legends are the symbol of our sunburnt country. At number 8, we've got the koala, which isn't a bear, so don't call them that unless you want to sound like a proper drongo. drongo. These sleepy little fellas spend 20 hours a day having a kip, partly because eucalyptus leaves are so low in nutrients and high in toxins. These sleepy gum munchers might look cuddly, but they can be proper cranky if disturbed. Their diet is so toxic that koala joeys have to eat their mum's poo first to get the gut bacteria needed to digest eucalyptus. Not exactly appetizing. Here's a fun fact. Koalas have fingerprints so similar to humans that they have actually confused crime scene investigators. Imagine being framed by a koala. With bushfires and habitat loss hitting them hard across Queensland and New South Wales, these iconic Aussies need our protection more than ever. Coming in at number 9 is the pademelon, like a kangaroo that's been put in the dryer too long. These compact marsupials are shy little tucker munchers that hang around the edges of forests. Their name comes from the Aboriginal word badamalian, and they're so bloody cute you just want to put them in your pocket. These little bounders are like kangaroos that got shrunk in the wash. Pademelons are so shy that most Aussies have never even seen one, despite them being fairly common in the rainforest edges of Tasmania and eastern Australia. They create these little tunnels through the undergrowth that they use as highways and have this brilliant warning system. When they sense danger, they thump their back legs on the ground so hard it creates vibrations that even confuse large snakes. Clever little tucker munchers. And finally, at number 10, we've got the lyrebird, the master of mockery in the Aussie bush. These talented show-offs can mimic almost any sound, from other birds to chainsaws, car alarms, and even camera shutters. Some of these clever drongos have even been heard imitating construction sites and mobile phones in the Blue Mountains and Dandenong Ranges. I once spent 3 hours in the bush trying to spot a lyrebird, only to realise it was mimicking the sound of my camera shutter the whole time. The male's spectacular tail feathers form a shape like an ancient Greek lyre when displayed, hence the name. David Attenborough called them his favourite bird, and after hearing one in person, I reckon he's spot on. Their incredible vocal talents show how our unique ecosystem has produced some of the world's most extraordinary adaptations. So there you have it, mates. 10 of the most rigid-edge, weird animals you'll only find down under. Our isolation from the rest of the world for millions of years has created some true blue oddballs that'll make your head spin faster than a roux on a turntable. Next time someone tells you Australia's just about deadly snakes and spiders, you can set them straight with these beauties. If you enjoyed this little tour of our unique wildlife, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which Aussie animal you'd like to learn about next. Hooroo for now. And remember, in Australia, even the wildlife thinks the rest of the world's animals are boring as batshit as.